Hi, welcome to the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal video. My name is Danny Milton, and today I'm up at Skypark Bike Park. Today we're going to be doing an Orbea demo. I know it's been a really long time since I've done a demo review. We've got a couple of weeks before bike season starts, and Orbea is up here doing their demo. I was really excited to come up here and ride the brand new 2023 Wild. The bike that they have and the bike I'm going to be riding today is the Team Edition model. Super stoked to get some laps on this bike and just see how it feels and see how that Bosch motor is going to be. I've never demoed a bike with a Bosch motor. You know, I've done Yamaha and Shimano and the Levo and the Rocky Mountain, but never been on a Bosch motor, so super excited to do that as well. So as we're riding up the trail here, I'm just going to put some of the geo and the pricing down here on the bottom of the screen, just to give you guys an idea of what you're looking at. Definitely in mode 2, it's blue. You can see it down there. Well, the evenness of the power assist is really astonishing to me. Might have even gave me just a little bit of boost when I sped up the pedal stroke there a little bit, but like no drag. Like this is kind of flat right here, and then it's going to get a little bit steeper. But it almost feels like it gave me a little bit of extra push instead of backing off like my Yamaha motor on my Giant. Let's try boost. Oh my goodness. This is a very steep section right here. Sitting down, pedaling. A little bit of run out there at the end. It's giving me more power than I needed. Just sitting and spinning. Even in boost, the amount of power it's giving me is nice and consistent. No back off at all. I know I'm breathing hard. You guys think I'm on an e-bike, and it's not hard to pedal. If you're on an e-bike and you're not breathing hard, you're not trying hard enough. It's got a steep little, kind of semi-chunky section up here to climb. See how the bike does as far as power delivery goes. Coming around the corner here. Might drop down just a couple of gears. Oh wow, super easy and mellow. Goodness gracious. Got it in mode 2, which is usually plenty for downhill stuff. Bike feels nice and firm. I might have lifted a little too much there. Pretty nimble through there, which is nice. Yeah, nice and firm. Suspension wise, not too soft or bouncy. Oh yeah, held a nice tight line through that. Even though we're running a DHF on the front, which is definitely not my favorite front tire. Just getting a feel for it, seeing how much travel we've got, all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, nice and solid through that little bit of chunk. Oh yeah, turning like a dream. Nice and smooth. I think the motor turned off. The motor did turn off. I might have punched it. Oh yeah, jumping good. Nice and solid. My first real jumps on the bike. Nice and solid. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, I boosted that one, not even trying. Oh, super planted on that drop right there. Those drops to flat sometimes can be a little bouncy. This thing is just like sticking to the ground. A little bit of that wall ride. Woo! Oh yeah, it's popping nice and easy. A little bit of that arrow again. Got Craig behind me. Woo! That was me fault, not the bike's fault. Oh my God, this thing just pops off that second jump. And then it's just dead on that drop, like dead good. Oh God. Don't lift, Danny. That's me having problems, not the bike. Woo! Yeah, this thing is nice and tight. All right, a little bit of that Comet on the Orbea Team Edition bike. Got Craigie behind me. We are in mode 3. Woo! Oh, got a little bug. Oh, this thing is planted on the drops and the jumps. Oh yeah. We're gonna get into some enduro stuff up here. Woo! It feels really lively. I don't feel any like understeering in the front at all. The back end feels really good. You know, the suspension's feeling good. It's not standing up and pedaling right now. Barely bobbing at all, which is great. 0 to no pedal bob, pedaling from a seated position. Oh yeah, very nimble. This is I'm only in the first hour of riding this bike, and I'm feeling better on this bike than I am on my own bike through that section I rode a couple days ago. Not getting too crazy as far as pushing this front tire. DHF is definitely, not my favorite front tire, and I don't want to push my luck. Oh, that section's super steep and narrow, and we made it no problemo. Very nimble and agile. Oh, definitely a higher bottom bracket than my bike, because I always hit that drop back there with my bottom bracket. Good rear tire traction there. Stood up and pedaled through that little spot. Whew. Woo! All right, about as far as I thought I'd make it. Oh, sent it the first time. Nice and clean. Oh my goodness. Oh, a little short there, but that's just because I brake checked. Nice. You. Nice. Woo. All right. Dropping in. Bike is very planted. Almost there. Made both of those. Oh yeah, this thing is butter. So this bike was amazing. I took it down sleigh ride. I just kind of worked my way up. You know, when they give you a demo bike, and this is just a demo, I only had this bike for about an hour. This isn't like a 6-month review or anything like that. You know, there's only so much you can gather from a bike, only riding it for an hour and only taking it down maybe like 4 or 5 trails. But it's just kind of like an initial opinion on this bike or review. I loved it. It was amazing. I started on Sleigh Ride, which is kind of like a flowy trail with a couple of jumps. You know, I just wanted to get a feel of how the bike was going to ride, how it was going to, you know, set up for me. You know, they take about maybe 5 minutes just to pump up the air pressures. I'm a bigger guy. Actually a little bit bigger than normal right now too. So just wanted to get a feel for how it was going to, you know, switch back, you know, turn through berms and go off of some smaller jumps on Sleigh Ride. Did great on Sleigh Ride, went up, did aero, got a little bit bigger jumps on that one, the wall ride, stuff like that. Did really good on that trail as well. Then finally took it down jump line, did a couple of runs on jump line, and it was amazing. This bike has a very short chainstay. I'm really excited because I thought this bike was a mullet, but it's actually 29ers front and rear, which is my preferred kind of wheel size. There are a lot of mullet bikes out there that I've ridden. They are not my favorite kind of feel, just the way the handlebars are a little bit higher in the front and the smaller tire in the rear. They feel okay, but my favorites are the 29ers front and rear. This bike was just super nimble. You know, I took it down Rocket, which is kind of like an enduro, really chunky kind of trail. There's a lot of drops, there's a lot of tight switchbacks, and I only went down Rocket once, and this bike did amazing on that trail. It felt even better than my own bike, and this was literally like the 4th trail I ever took this bike down. So without doing a bunch of setup stuff on it, you know, the only thing that I checked was the tire pressure and the high-speed rebound on it. Everything else, you know, I could take weeks to set up a bike. I took weeks to set up my own bike. So it feeling that good right off the bat just tells me that this is an amazing bike. The motor is so good. I took you guys up a couple of the hills just talking about how the motor was responding to me. The motor was just amazing. It's super smooth. I wouldn't say it's any louder or quieter than my Giant Rain. It's the old Yamaha motor. It has just kind of like a little bit of a different pitch to it. It's a little bit of a higher pitch, whereas the Yamaha motors seem to be a little bit lower, grunty kind. And it's definitely quieter than the Shimano motor. I do know that because I was riding side by side with my buddy Craig, and he's got a Shimano motor, and it was definitely quieter than his bike. The suspension on this bike was just amazing. You know, it's factory elite stuff front and rear. From the first time I went off a jump to the jumps on aero, all the way up to the jumps on jump line, when I would land this bike, even off like the drops to flat, this bike would just land super smooth. It wouldn't like dip down into the suspension, or at least it didn't feel like it. Like when I would land the jumps and even the drop-offs, it would just stick to the ground and just keep moving, which was definitely a new experience for me. My bike is a little more pillowy when it hits the ground. This bike would just hit the ground and you would just be going on it, and it was awesome. It did really good in the brake bumps. You know, that initial kind of shock stroke feel wasn't too chattery in my hands at all. You know, this bike has stock grips on it, and I'm used to a little bit of a thicker grip. So having to hold the grip a little bit tighter didn't really make a difference because the suspension was just eating up all of those small bumps and the big hits and the big jumps. Like I said, the 29ers front and rear, 170 up front, 160 mils of travel in the rear. I'm pretty sure if it's not, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. Was just amazing. You know, like I said, I rode the Team Edition. I'll put that price on the bottom of the screen as well. I probably wouldn't buy the Team Edition if I was going to get this bike, but I'm not exactly sure what the pricing is for the other ones. I can put those on screen as well. You know, I think there's at least 3 different models for this bike, and I'll put each one of those on the bottom to show you the pricing. Usually kind of a mid-tier price is what I'm looking for. Anything in the range of like 6,000 to 8,000 is usually about where my budget is looking at for a bike. When you start getting into 9, 10, 11, that's crazy talk for a mountain bike, and I don't ever see myself spending that much for a bike. But this Team Edition Orbea Wild was just a great bike and a great ride, and I definitely can't wait for my buddy Jeff, E-Bike Jeff, to buy one so I can ride it as well. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Do all that fun stuff for me, please. Smash that like button, share, comment, definitely subscribe to the channel. Once you are subscribed, make sure you click that bell notification so that you are notified of upcoming videos. I haven't been the most reliable or consistent when it comes to videos lately, just because I'm trying to change what I do on the channel. I'm going to start doing more product reviews and probably less trail reviews. Also have Snow Summit seasons coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll probably be doing a bunch of videos on those trails. And last but not least, click on one of the boxes in the corners. One will take you to a rides playlist, another to a favorite video. And you click the logo in that corner, that little round logo. That's the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal logo to subscribe. Thanks a lot.